Holy. We're here. It's November 18th now. I'm a day late on this. I actually don't know when exactly this dropped. It says November 17th here at the top, but we have a new Teamfight Manager 2 devlog to talk about. It's been a little more than 2 weeks, been like 2.5 weeks since the demo has been kind of dropped off of Steam, so you can't play the game anymore. If you're wondering where I was, why there was no uploads on the channel, we couldn't play the game. So I was kind of hoping that if you had the demo downloaded, you would still be able to at least play it. They would just take the download off of the Steam store. But if you try to open the game right now, it just gives you like a license error, basically. So you can't even open up the game or run the game. So that series of doing like different challenges and doing spotlights on all the characters in the demo, wasn't able to do that. Also, 2 weeks ago, I had an IRL like car problem to deal with, and Worlds was going on for a league, so that there was just a lot going on that I wasn't doing Teamfight Manager 2 stuff for. But finally, after 3 weeks of waiting, 3 weeks of waiting, we have a long-awaited devlog, and I've heard, I don't know what's in here, but I've heard it's a big one and that it's pretty positively received, which is a trend with this development team. They seem to implement a lot of what the players suggest to them, which is a really, really promising thing to have as a dev team. As a quick aside, if you're seeing me for the first time, hi, I'm Let Us Play. This is what I look like. If you are here from the demo playthrough series, welcome. It's glad to have you back. I've made one other of these devlog updates in the past, but if you are interested in seeing more of me live, I do have face cam during all streams and stream vlog uploads here on my channel, so it's not the first time I'm kind of showing myself with what I look like. I also play League of Legends with face cam and all that stuff on, so if this one looks a little bit different than the last devlog where I didn't have face cam on, that is the reason why. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. Hello, this is Team Samoyed. We plan to regularly share our development process for Teamfight Manager 2 through devlogs every 2 to 3 weeks, so we appreciate your continued interest. Okay, League and Team Expansion. We've expanded the in-game leagues and teams to a total of 6 leagues, where we only had 4 before. So it looks like they've added Japan and they've added South America, which is pretty interesting. It's interesting they went for... Japan is the one that sticks out to me, because in typical... MOBAs, like in League of Legends, the major regions are these 4, and then South America / Brazil is another like very prominent region. But the other very prominent region is the like Pacific, like Southeast Asia, your Taiwan's, Vietnam, like that area, kind of like everything south of China and South Korea. So I'm interested on what the reasoning was for Japan. I don't know if that's, I don't know the reason for it. It's not really too big of a deal why it's that versus like something like Taiwan or something like that. But nonetheless, we have all the different logos here. Pretty cool. I'm a big like stickler for like team names and traditional sports like jerseys and stuff. You can see I collect like random esports jerseys. I have my Billy Knight jersey on right now. Post Worlds, they didn't do so good at Worlds this year, but he's one of my favorite players. But anyway, let's keep going with the devlog. Here's the full list of newly added team logos. Okay, sweet. A lot of these look really good. I know that they're very low, they're very small sprites or whatever, but they look pretty good. Along with this, we've adjusted the overall skill level of team rosters and improved the stat generation algorithm for players. Okay. We have some different language. So this is Korean language here, which is what I think the game was programmed in. Players with similar overall strength will now show more diverse distributions of strengths and weaknesses. You may see players who are evenly skilled across the board, players who excel at some aspects but fall short of others, or players who possess exceptional physical abilities. Weird descriptor in an esports game. Exceptional physical abilities but extremely low mental attributes. Okay, I see where they're going with that. We believe this will make building your roster more fun and meaningful. Okay, so I'm guessing it means that there's a bigger diversity of stats, whereas before maybe it wasn't the case. I'm gonna be honest. In the demo, I never paid any attention to the stats of the game or anything like that. Okay, map changes. So we're making gradual adjustments to the overall structure of the map. These changes are not final yet, but we're working to reduce the excessive density of walls and bushes compared to how often they were actually useful in gameplay. And, oh, so right off the bat, this looks bigger. Is it bigger? And they've taken this, so this entire area used to be have a bush in this whole L section, and it's all gone. It's a very small bush. I'm assuming the AI is going to like actually utilize, like they're gonna recognize if they're in a bush or not, like if they're camouflaged or not. So as long as that is the case, then it's pretty cool. Like more open ground, which is the case in most games. Is it me or is there another tower and another neutral objective in the addition of an inner tower? Okay, yeah. So they oop, whoop, what did I click on? Oh, I clicked on this picture. Okay, so they have inner towers now. Yes, this is very. I love this. So one of the big things people wanted, kind of tuned with the game, was the pacing of the game. People wanted it to be slower. What would happen a lot of times is like levels 1 and 2, there would be so many kills, so many like aggressive like people like the characters would make mistakes, people would get kills, gold leads would get blown out of proportion, and then once you had an outer tower, you're just right in front of the nexus. So one more guard like secure for a lane that didn't have an outer turret, and then suddenly all of the characters on the team that didn't get the Morguard are constantly recalling because there's minions and champions at their base. So having inner turrets is a very, very good way to naturally make the game slower, which is what a lot of people wanted. So this is awesome. As you can see, the image above, each lane now has additional inner tower. Previously, in an effort to keep the average match duration short, there you go, each lane only had a single tower, and tower rewards were set high, okay, so that games would progress quickly. However, based on the feedback we received from the demo, many players felt that losing even a single objective resulted in an excessively large disadvantage, especially in 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4. This is even more so in those game modes, which caused frustration. To address this, we decided to add inner towers with a new structure. Losing the first tower now creates less lane pressure, and because tower rewards have been reduced, losing 1 or even 2 towers no longer instantly snowballs the game. Perfect. In a lot of custom mods that people made for the game, myself included, they actually pretty heavily reduced the gold given from taking towers, and also increased the health of towers specifically for this reason, because once the towers were gone, it was like you're basically in the end game as soon as any of the outer towers went down, and there's a lot of games where outer towers went down like very, very, very quickly. So this is a good change. Okay. New bottom lane objective, Serpent. We've also added a new objective to the bottom side of the map. Serpent appears at a 2-minute mark as opposed to 3:30, which is where Morguard spawns. Yeah, have that right. It's been a while since I've played. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've played, so sometimes I forget these details like this. Respawns every 2 minutes after being slain. Okay, so that's very fast. Also, notably, it'll be spawning around 4:15 to 4:30, depending on like how quick it's taken. So Morguard will spawn at 3:30. Everyone will go to that, and then at 4:15, 4:30, the second one of this will spawn. When defeated, it grants the killing team a permanent stat boosting buff. Okay, I don't love permanent buffs, but that's okay. Meanwhile, Morguard no longer provides stat buffs and instead only empowers minions. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so this one is going to be way more powerful. So this is very akin to Dragons versus Baron in League. Baron does give stats in League, but it's temporary. It's only while you have the buff, and the main thing that you're taking Baron for is the pushing power of the minions. The stats it gives are only like 40 AD and AP or something, which 25 or 30 minutes into a League game isn't super impactful. It's nice, but it's not like it doesn't completely sway team fights by itself. Whereas this mechanic of permanently stat boosting is very akin to the dragon system in League, and they even made it a serpent, which is kind of similar to a dragon, I guess. So this is very, very online with how League of Legends is. Okay. With changes to early game durability and reduced kill rewards, the frequency of meaningful early fights decreased, which made pre-Morguard gameplay feel less exciting. True. In regards to the whole pre-Morguard system, a lot of times when I was testing things, when I was testing characters and testing like comps and just wanted to test certain like of the pregame tactics and things like this, I would get into the game, instantly go to 3x speed, and only slow it down once I got to like 3 minutes and 15 seconds ish, so that I was basically just skipping the whole game until Morgard happened because nothing else really mattered except for Morgard fights. So this is a good kind of thing to make there more meaningful things that happen in the game before Morgard spawns. So this is good. These large-scale fights that occur around contesting Serpent help address this issue and bring back more intense early game action. Perfect. Match duration. As a result of these changes, the average match duration has increased from around 7 minutes to approximately 9 minutes. Okay. I don't... Just reading these numbers, I don't have an immediate instinct on what this will feel like. What I will say is that the longest game duration I had during the demo was something around 12 or 13 minutes, and that felt quite long. So maybe like slightly, maybe like 10 minutes was what I was thinking in my head, and this is very close to that. So I'm sure this will feel, very nice to play. I'm sure this is going to feel better than what it used to feel like, in my opinion. We will continue monitoring this, but as long as the gameplay remains engaging and immersive, slightly longer matches should not be a problem. Agreed. Ultimate abilities. Okay, this is a big one. This is one that I heard people talking about in the Discord, and I didn't know this was a thing. So basically, when you go into the code of the game, the abilities that the characters had were labeled as Ability 1 and Ability 2. And there were certain things elsewhere in the game that were listed as ults. And so people basically speculated that maybe there's like more abilities in the game, or maybe there's something like an ult system that isn't introduced yet. And this is true. So I'm just looking at this GIF that they are posting here. Look at this what is this smite ability? So I think I heard people saying that this was Pyromancer's ult spell, so that circle and then the big, slam down. So every character in the game is going to have 3 abilities now, from what I'm understanding from this, which is crazy. So that basically throws the entire tier list out of the window, basically, in terms of relevance, which is unfortunate because that video took a long time to make. But honestly, like, this is going to completely warp how the game works, because I think even having 2 abilities in like a small game, small like mini MOBA simulator like this was a really impressive feat, and you could really tune the balancing quite well, I think, as someone who could make custom patches. It was very easy to balance the It was very easy to balance the game around having 2 abilities. Now that we have a 3rd ability and they're ultimate, so they're supposed to be even stronger than what we were seeing in the demo, that's going to go crazy. I'm really excited to see this, but I'm also like 2% of me is skeptical. Like 98% excited, but like 2% of me is skeptical that this is going to make the game like super crazy. So we'll have to see. Maybe some characters will be like way stronger with the ults who are weak before, and vice versa. Maybe some of the super strong characters won't have as influential as ults. So whole new can of worms to get into with this. We're working on the ultimate ability system for champions. Each champion gains access to their ult at level 5. Okay. And ultimates are designed to further emphasize the unique traits of each champion. While there is still much work left on the AI logic for using ultimates effectively, we aim to make ultimates a key part of champion identity, team comp, and strategy. Okay, sure. So they get unlocked at level 5. Okay. So yeah, was it level 3? I'm pretty sure it was levels like 1, obviously, and then level 3. Yeah, level 3 was when the second ability comes online. So 1, 3, and 5 are when the champions get access to all their spells. Okay, match engine improvements. After writing the last devlog, we spent a lot of time thinking about what to prioritize next. I'm assuming this is going to talk about the game logic of what the champions do in the game and their decision making and stuff. There's a lot of work to be done on team management, transfers, and player administration, and we know many players are looking forward to those features, myself included. That's probably the part of this game I'm the most excited about, are drafting. But drafting has a limit. Like, you can only find out which characters are the best and then center your comps around them. That that gameplay loop will end quite quickly, even with artificial patches like in the game. This stuff is where the game becomes endlessly replayable, in my opinion. We know players are looking forward to those features. However, we concluded that refining the match engine to a fully satisfying level must be our top priority. I agree. No matter how well the management systems are developed, if the underlying match engine does not feel good, the management experience becomes meaningless. I agree with this. Even though I will spend more time doing this stuff, if the actual game itself doesn't feel good to witness, like, you can build a team and build an org as much as you want, but then when it's time to kind of like go play in the matches and watch your team actually play, if that experience isn't satisfying, the whole thing becomes less satisfying. All of this stuff is lessered in satisfaction as a player if the game engine itself is bad. So I agree with this. Okay, as a coach, your intended tactics must be properly reflected in the match. You must be able to identify which player stats matter for which strategy, and you must be able to build your roster accordingly. If the match engine fails to support this, the foundation of the entire management gameplay falls apart. For this reason, bringing the match engine to at least minimum quality we envision is our highest priority. They literally just paraphrased what I said. So that's why these devlogs are nice. Both the two devlogs that I've covered on this channel have literally just like delivered exactly what I was thinking about the game. And it makes sense because I think the only active place to talk about the game, in English at least, that I know of, was the Teamfight Manager 1 Discord had a separate channel for Teamfight Manager 2, and that's where most of the discussion about the game was happening. And a lot of this stuff I was involved with discussing a lot of this stuff with other people in the community, and there was a lot of common sentiments that basically are paraphrased by what they just listed right here. Of course, this is extremely challenging work despite the significant time and effort we are investing. There are still many aspects that need improvement. Even if we eventually reach a point where we feel satisfied with the match engine, there may still be differences between our internal evaluation and the expectation of our players. That's fine. Official Discord. Oh, sweet. To bridge the gap between our perspective as developers and the community's perspective, and to receive feedback more actively, we have decided to open an official Discord server. Through this Discord, plan feedback and early access. Look forward to your participation. Sweet. So I'm assuming this is a Teamfight Manager 2 specific Discord, which is perfect. We needed that, so that's great. Awesome. So I think that's it. Yep, that's the last devlog. Okay, sweet. Very, very good. Very happy with this devlog. A new map, a new neutral objective, and inner towers is the big change. I wonder, they didn't say anything about the movement speed of the characters was another one that a lot of people, when they made their own custom patches, they slowed the character movement a lot to help, contribute to slowing the game down a lot. However, if it said the average game time is going from 7 to 9 minutes, I have a feeling that wouldn't be included in that in those changes. But listen, this is an amazing improvement. More teams, 120 teams in the game. So what is that? 20 teams times 6 leagues. So I assume that's a first division and a second division of 10 teams in each league. For 20 teams per region times 6 regions is how I'm understanding this. So that's pretty cool. One thing I really hope we can do is to put in our own custom like league systems with our own custom player names, logos. That's one thing that Football Manager has really a great system of having with their in-game editors. So you can completely modify the league, all the rules, like whether it's even a league system at all or a cup system, and all that type of stuff where you're modifying like the actual format of the league that you're playing in. I really hope that's possible in this game. But even if it's not, having a first and second division in every region, at least with a promotion relegation, that's a very good starting point. And the game isn't even in early access yet, so this is more than enough in terms of the format of the league structure for the time being. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Let Us Play. Feel free to check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/LetUsPlay. I stream the game. I will be streaming the game when it comes out. I have previous streams that are public that you can go watch of the game if you're interested. I also stream League of Legends. I might be uploading some League of Legends stuff because we're in the off season now. Lots of player trades are going on. in LCS, LCK, all that stuff. So I'm hoping to do some stuff regarding that. I have some ideas planned. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm out. Peace.